Hey, that's me giving a beat down to the concept of any black woman thinking that she should be down with a feminist movement. I'm gonna explain why, so let's get it. So let's go into feminism. The definition of feminism is, the basic one is the movement to obtain increased legal, social, and political rights for women. Nobody can argue with that. But as black women, you got to look at it and say, are you really achieving some of those rewards? You know, part of this feminist movement going on, and this is nothing new. Have you been gaining? So let's go back into history when we examine it. One of the first women you're going to talk about is Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Staten, right? If you look through Wikipedia right now, they are credited for being a part of the abolition movement. Susan B. Anthony is given credit for being a part of the Underground Railroad in itself. But let's flip on it. You know, there's another side to it. Both of those women are known for being racist, in that they'll put up with, black people getting their rights whatsoever, but not over white women. And one of Susan B. Anthony quotes that I've written down is, "I'll cut off this right arm of mine before I ever work or demand the ballot of the Negro and not the woman." So even back then, those women understood about self-preservation. They didn't mind if you Negroes go get your rights and better yourself, but not at the expense of us. And they seen women back then as white women. That's the us. Okay? Now let's go forward. But a lot of people are going to say, hey, that's way back. This is like 1800s. This is the 19th century, right? So sometime around that time. So let's go further down. Let's look at Margaret Sanger. If you go into the website, you're going to see I wrote an article about Margaret Sanger. So anybody who read it, they already know my angle on it. A lot of people already know the concept on Margaret Sanger. They already know where I'm going at it. Margaret Sanger, woman activist, proponent of women's rights, arrested several times for demonstrating against women's rights, against women not getting their rights, right? But also, everybody knows that she was a part of the eugenics movement. And if you don't know the eugenics movement, you need to Google that. But she's a part of the eugenics movement. She really wanted to help out black people so much. She put abortion clinics in Harlem and some parts of Brooklyn. She's had rallies and she had speeches for the Ku Klux Klan, in secret meetings. But she always wanted to help out the black people. That doesn't make sense, right? Especially if you know what the eugenics movement is about. And this is a person that was an advocate. This is one of the women's rights and suffrage movement leaders of the time. And this is who a lot of, I ain't gonna say black women, but a lot of people really ran for it. You got some of the great black men, even like E.W. Du Bois. He championed her, right? But this is a person that I'm gonna say was a part of the feminist movement. So we got, Elizabeth Staten, we have Susan B. Anthony, we have Margaret Sanger. These are examples of women who championed that black cause, when it was convenient. They had a different agenda. Margaret Sanger had a different agenda. The other two women, it was convenient, but not at the sacrifice of the white women. All right, let's move further down the line, right? So let's go into the more modern times, I guess, right? Let's look at I guess you'll say the not the forefather, so the foremother of the feminist movement, Gloria Steinem, right? The great Gloria Steinem. And I wonder, a lot of people, do they know? I'm hoping that you know that she did work for the CIA, not the FBI. She worked for the CIA. She admits it. This is not a conspiracy theory. You can Google it. You can go on YouTube. You can watch videos of her talking about it. She's saying how they are not as bad as a lot of people think. She got busted. They found out, hey, listen, you've been taking money from the CIA. So she came up and said how great of an organization they are. Now, you think about it. Somebody taking money from the CIA, but now later on, she came from humble beginnings, went to the best schools, opened up her own organizations. She started a magazine called Miss Magazine with a black woman called, what's her name? Dorothy Pittman Hughes. Miss Steinem really liked black people. She pushed, a young lady by the name of Michelle Wallace, a young girl at the time. She came out with the book, The Macho Black Man and the Myth of the Super Black Woman. You get what I'm saying? But Steinem really pushed this agenda, really for black women. Hey, listen, man, you don't have to, you don't have to kowtow to the black man. And at that time, there was denigrating civil rights leaders, denigrating Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, saying these people weren't good for the cause of black women. And where does that make any sense at? To put down some of the great leaders of our past. Right then, that was the part of the divide. Trying to divide black man from black woman at that time. And a lot of black women bit that and they ate that up. And a lot of women today still biting and eating that up. Now think about this. Elizabeth Staten, Susan B. Anthony, they all understood, hey, listen, I don't mind helping out black people, but not at my cost. Margaret Sanger had a plot to eliminate the black race, if you know anything about the eugenics movement. You look at Gloria Steinem, getting paid by the CIA, but now she want to help out black people and advise black women what to do or how to act with a black man. Think about it, right? Or maybe these are just coincidences. But now let's look at current times. There's a big march out there in Washington and all over. Black women got a lot of credit for that. But look at it. At the end of the day, it was all these protests against Donald Trump. But who voted for Donald Trump? 93% of black women did not vote for Donald Trump. 93% of black women did not vote for Donald Trump. 54% of white women voted for Donald Trump. So at the end of the day, she looked at self-preservation. At the end of the day, she'd rather have that white man as her president over that white woman. And they got articles out there saying, oh, when is it going to be a woman president? If women wanted Hillary to be president, she would have been president. But at the end of the day, white women did not want her. You ever thought about like let's say there's going to be a fight. And you say, hey, listen, let's go and fight the guys down the block. And you say, yeah, okay, fine. I'm gonna ride with y'all. So, okay, we're talking about females. So a bunch of females, yeah, we're gonna fight these girls down the block. And then the black girls go out, start riling, saying, hey, yeah, we're gonna start this fight. And then you realize you're in the front of the line, and then you turn back and nobody behind you. And you're gonna fight a fight that you didn't even want to fight in the first place. That's what's going on a lot of times. We're fighting fights, or black women are fighting fights that they need not be a part of because it's not benefiting you at the end of the day. It's not. So a lot of these causes, and they say, oh, okay, we got to be in the mix. A lot of black women say, we have to be in the mix. We have to be in the mix so we could have an opportunity to speak. Black women have been having that conversation for a long time. And you have been a mule. It was that Zora Hurst. Am I getting it correct? I think I wrote it down here somewhere. Zora Hurston, right? Black woman is the mule of the world for white women and their agenda. Who's taking care of your agenda? Put it like this. If you wanted to be a feminist and you was getting your needs taken care of, and if I seen black women benefiting from this feminist movement, I wouldn't have anything to say negative about it. At the end of the day, it may not benefit me, but it benefits you, fine. At the end of the day, I'm with a black woman, so it's going to help my household. But a lot of times, most often, these feminist movements are helping out white women. It's considered like an upper class, middle class white women agenda. And black women sitting there patiently waiting for her turn and her opportunity. So I'm denouncing feminism in that the umbrella that it's in. If black women are going to start their own thing, call it the minority, the black woman, the whatever the case you want to be, black Latino, whatever the case may be, and you want to start something with that, where you actually going to get some benefit out of the work and the sweat you put in. Because right now, what white women are doing, they're taking advantage of the mule of the world, that black woman, that mule of the world. They're taking advantage and they're using that sweat and benefiting themselves and profiting themselves. At the end of the day, white women are making more money per hour than black men. White men are making more money than black men. So at the end of the day, black women and black men, because majority of black women are still with black men, we're still making less money as a combined unit. So as white women wages increases, white men's wages is always up there. Their household money is still adding up, and it's all about money at the end of the day. So you want to support that feminist movement? That's up to you, you know? But I broke it down historically. It hasn't worked for us. We're not talking about recent. I went back to the 1800s. I went back to 1930s, 1920s, around that time. You know, we go into 1960s. You can look at it right now. If it ain't benefit you that whole time, what makes you think it's going to change? That divide that they're trying to separate between you and a black man. At the end of the day, we know one thing. Black man, you got some ignorant black guys out there that treat black women wrong. I won't deny that. It's evident. I'll be stupid to say any different. But there's not an agenda. I'm saying that there's an agenda. The feminist movement is an agenda where you're not going to benefit from. You got ignorant black men. You have some ignorant black men. Those are individuals that's ignorant, right? If you just dealt with an ignorant person within an organization, that's fine. I'm saying the organization of feminists is built on something that's not going to benefit you. You can't say that about black men, because you're going to find one good guy and one bad guy. That feminist umbrella that was built on something that wasn't for your intent. It wasn't built for you. You might think, okay, from the inside, you're going to change it. Why? Just start your own. Do something else. Historically, tell me how it benefited from you. How it benefited you. How it benefited your people. How it benefited your family. Feminism has helped that white woman out. It's helped her out because as her wages went up, it's not like her husband's wages came down. So their household make more money. What you're doing is dividing yourself from your man, from your black husband. You're dividing yourself and you're going to war at him. But she's not going to war with her husband at the end of the day. She's not. She just voted for Donald Trump, who said grab him by the pussy. At the end of the day, she ain't taking that serious because she said self-preservation. At the end of the day, that grab the pussy by the guy, man, you know, he's going to look out for me and my family. And who's going to be looking out for you? You're going to fight a fight that wasn't even intended for you. And you done left your black man divided. Not saying that he's, you know, I don't know your particular situation. Everybody's an individual. That black man may be a piece of crap for you. But at the end of the day, there's no agenda targeted against you. All right? Feminism, get rid of it. You want to start up a whole new coalition on a new umbrella where black minorities are going to actually benefit, where you can say, hey, listen, I put in this work and I got this out of it. Other than a pat on the back and a clap and say, okay, do it again, Negro, next month. All right? David Ellison JR signing out. Hasson Chop to feminism.
Thank you, douchebag, for being a perfect example.
Hi, I'm RJ Ellison, and today I would like to discuss Charlize Theron and her adopted black son. As we all know, black children are the least likely to get adopted and provided a stable home environment from the foster care system. So I applaud her for taking him into her home and offering him the opportunity to develop and grow with care and nurture. However, the issue I have is there are pictures floating around where he's dressed in female attire, ballerina shoes, and a blonde wig. Now, this is a black male child dressed in female clothes, ballerina shoes, and a blonde wig. So I just want to know, why is this okay? Why is this acceptable? And what are we going to do about it as a community to prevent our children in the future from entering into the foster care system where they may be subjected to an environment where it's confusion? I consider that to be confusion. A black male child should identify himself as a black male child, meaning he shouldn't be wearing female attire and he shouldn't have to wear ballerina shoes, nor should he have a blonde wig on his head. Now, I understand Charlize Theron, maybe she's just naive. Maybe she doesn't have a proper understanding on how to raise a black male child, especially being that she's raising him as a black male child in a single family household. So therefore, there's no male guidance. So there's a lot of imbalance here in his structure, in his foundation, and in his environment. So although I applaud her for doing the right thing and offering up her home to a child that was left in the foster care system, but this is not the way to go about raising a black male child. So Charlize Theron, you are a perfect example of emasculation of the male child and also a perfect example of bad choices.